Okay, so I heard some conflicting reports earlier today about the price of gas. And then I said, let me do an independent research on the internet to see about what's going on around now. What I hear at this moment is that the average price of this day, which is a week before you're listening to this, so subtract a week. And remember, if you heard something on this exact day and you hear me say another number, keep in mind I'm talking 1 week sooner. Can't predict the price for the future. But this is what I want to talk to you about today because the price of gas is so varying. Okay. And one channel on the news says prices should be expected to be going down as the summer winds down. What I would imagine would probably a little bit after Labor Day weekend. But I mean, nothing to the, I think, to write home again extent of gas lowering prices. This is just a person's opinion. I'm just giving you my opinion here on that. But numbers aside, let's push away the numbers off our plate. I know we're looking at a plate of alphabets and numbers, okay? Words and numbers. Right now, let's take our imaginary knife and just slide it off that plate, okay, and put it somewhere else. Okay, so the plate is now officially cleaned off of numbers and alphabet. Is there anything we personally can do about gas prices? Not really. That is one of those, filed into the mystery file of, I have no control over gas prices ever, actually, ever. Okay. And sometimes it's just really like really a challenge. But what we could do and should have control over is the strategy in which we utilize our gas consumption and our cars. Okay. I think we need to seriously rethink about doing carpooling. Sometimes years ago, people did it and helped them out. Even if you do it once or twice a week, okay, it's better than nothing. Also, reconsider the strategy of how people, let's say that are retired, for example, may run errands. Okay. Sometimes people run repetitive errands 1 day a week. Now, I know a lot of times retired people, sometimes they're not always out swimming or jogging or at the farmer's market like they portray on TV or sailing on a yacht. It's not always like that. I'm just saying the truth. Some retirees are actually working in order to make ends meet. Okay, here we go with that. But let's talk about strategy. Sometimes retired people or people that just don't think, is there a better way to not have to keep on using so much gas in the car? Well, I don't understand sometimes why sometimes people don't consolidate their errands into like one trip and like plan it out, like directionally speaking, in an orderly manner. This is me. I'm not saying everybody has to think the same way that I do, but this is the way I look at things like, wait a minute, isn't it a lot cheaper to do it this way? Find a way. Find a way that reduces your need to use so much gas in your car. And plus that, you have to create, for those that struggle with getting gas in their car in general in life, one has to establish, in my honest, and I told you I'm a training wheels show, so let's take it out and call it what it could be, a name it and claim it fun for gas. Or you could call it for transportation. All right. Now, somebody may not drive, somebody may be using public transportation. All of this costs money. You don't get on the bus for free. You shouldn't, unless you have some sort of special pass or privilege that gives you a reduced rate. And by the way, let's talk about that. There are a lot of senior citizens who do not take full advantage of some of the stuff they could get at half price, a reduction. Let's just throw that in the mix. So if you're a senior citizen, check your local city and state to see if you, in fact, and if you're a public mass transit traveler, find out if you could get a half price on your travels. Half price. Imagine, let's say you're spending $40 a week getting to and fro. You could get half price. You just put $20 back in your pocket for the week and actually $80 back in your wallet for the month. I'm just saying, a lot of people. And also, let's think of it in terms even of other things. What other things maybe a senior citizen could get at a reduction? Movies. Sometimes there are movie days. One of my sweet viewers and commenters mentions how she gets to enjoy movies at a fraction of the cost on a certain day of the week. Some people I know go out to eat, let's say once every couple of weeks, but they get a nice senior discount and they still get to enjoy meeting their friends and having, the fun of eating out and socializing in that manner at a reduced rate. Why not? I think a lot of this goes back to strategy. A lot of this goes back to even making a phone call. You know what really like disturbs me? We live in an informational age. We're on the information superhighway. It's not like even 35 years ago. 35 years ago, you had to rely a lot on word of mouth, whatever TV, commercials that came on, right? Things of that nature. Perhaps maybe information in a newspaper. That's if you bought a newspaper. Not everybody wanted newspapers in their house. Some people thought they were messy. Not everybody wanted to pay for a newspaper in their house. I'm just saying. So our sources of information were limited. Or we would go to the library and look up information. Nothing wrong with that. We just had to physically get there. But today, on this information superhighway, the information is literally in the palm of our hands. There's no excuse anymore not to just tap and ask, what type of senior discounts could I get in your, local state and city? So really take full advantage of that. I know it went off a little bit, but I digress. I digress. Let's go back to the gas strategies. Okay. What can one do to reduce their use of their car? Okay. And use less gas until things start showing a little change in a better direction. And I keep my fingers crossed that things get better. I am an eternal optimist. While I am a realist, I am absolutely a realist. I'm also an eternal optimist. I always hope for the best, and more than hope, I pray for the best. I take good action in that manner. I do believe in the power of prayer. I really, really do. Prayer and determination. But also, we have to do our part to, for example, we have to consider strategizing things, strategizing how we use gas, and also strategizing how we purchase groceries, buy food. I mean, we have to get familiar, come up with a plan. We have to plan to stockpile. This is part of a good strategy. I know sometimes it sounds repetitive. Sometimes I'm even tired of saying it, but I always look at it this way, okay? Every single time I create a message, and this is the goodness, honest truth. If I reach just one person with all the people that might listen, not that there's a gazillion people listening to my channel, probably not, but enough of people to be happy enough to know that one, or even better still, more than one person got the it factor of the message and it might have helped them out. If I helped one person today with my message, I did my job.